Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my humble opinion classroom. It's 4:30 in the morning of the 5th of August, and I saw something on YouTube about a an impending. Let me not say an impending. Let me say a predicted new world order. Some blueprints by a Chinese guy, a Chinese YouTuber. It's called the Pax Judaica. They call it Pax Judaica, which means the peace of Israel, just like Pax Britannica, which means the peace of Britain. An intending new world order that is coming is coming. It has some predictions about the end of the world, the Armageddon, and then the coming of Jesus Christ, and Israel is a very you know a dense type of topic for discussion. To me, most of what I saw from the video, from this Pax Judaica, phenomena was some things are, for me, not really, realistic. Like it wouldn't happen. And I'm judging, not just I'm analyzing and judging, not just on based on the examples and the experiments the professor gave. He styles himself a professor, not like he's an academic professor, but he is an educator on YouTube, so he goes by the moniker a professor. People call him a professor probably. So this what he all the analysis he gave, how the Antichrist is going to come and how we are going to fight the Armageddon war was a conspiracy theory to me. I call it a conspiracy theory, and I have a three analysis. I analyzed the full video and what he said. I took out three stuff that makes it a conspiracy theory and an event that would be unrealistic. That's something that wouldn't happen. Even if it does, it wouldn't happen the way he says it. And it's predicting the future, which is very critical. And this is what he used. When the video is starting, my first analysis, the first thing I got from the video, from that professor's YouTube video, was his theory of truth. Everything he said in that video, he hinged it on a theory. I mean, I think it's a theory he invented or some other person's theory. He calls it the theory of truth. And according to his theory of truth, it does three things. It connects the past, that's the first thing. It explains the presence, that's the second thing, and then it predicts the future, that's the third thing. Now, the three things you have there that are synonymous is the past, the present, and the future. What's that? He calls it the theory of truth, but that's just history. That's history. Why he just gave it a name, a theory of, but that's basically history. That's what history does. That's history for you. It denotes is the whole spectrum of the past. It History explains the past, connects the past. History explains the present, and historians, history, if carefully, might be able or could be able to even predict the future. So his theory of truth is simply history, but he has to, call it the theory of truth just to hinge his theory, his conspiracy theories on that theory of truth. But let's move on. Now, his second analysis is the notion of Israel, of America moving out of the Middle East. Now, in his theory, in what he was saying, he said something about a war that would happen. It's called the Gog and Magog. That's the Armageddon war. But there's a way he termed it the Gog and Magog war, but most people know it as the Armageddon. Where America is going to lose his war with Russia, and then I think with Russia, with Iran. He predicted this video was uploaded 7 months ago, but he said that America is going to lose his war with Iran, and then he's going to have to move out of the Middle East and go back to America, while Israel will become, in the new world order, and then it will give his resources to Israel. The fallacy there is the fact that America is going to move out of the Middle East. That alone is a complete, is a total lie to me. You know what it means for America to leave the Middle East? That's what they've been wanting America to do now, to just leave the Middle East, and then Israel will become the new world order. America will, do you know what it means? That I don't think America can leave the Middle East. They have multiple bases. They have billions of trillions of dollars of investment in the Middle East. They have military bases. They have lots of things like geopolitics. Geopolitics will not favor America if they leave the Middle East. That's that. And my third analysis is the professor's prediction of Israel and the Jewish hegemony in the world. And he didn't just predict, he said, he gave the time frame, said in the next 10 to 20 years that there will be a new world order called Pax Judaica, which is Israel and Jewish people becoming the center of government in the world, like a central government, the Antichrist, probably. That's the Antichrist. That prediction to me. First of all, let's look at the world like an umbrella of nations. They like an international system. We've had several world orders in this world. Since the beginning of it, we've had several world orders, and now we've come down to America. Now we have America as one of the most strongest giants nations on earth in terms of money, military hardware, software, tech giants, all the stuff. But I don't see a future where Jewish people, Israel, will have this hegemony in the world over other all countries. You understand? I think that wouldn't happen like that. That's a lie. It won't happen like that. That's what happened. The nation of Israel is just a congregation of several Jews that were scattered around the world. They came together and started their own nation in 1948 in Palestine, according to the Bible, and even historical records that are considered facts. They say that is where they are from. That is their birth land. Palestine, close to. So they went there and occupied the place, and since then they've been fighting their neighbors. But a looming world order called Pax Judaica, with Jewish people and Israel as the central government above, which is also implied in the video. You also imply that almost tech companies, America would relinquish its supremacy, its power to Israel totally, making Israel the new world order. Do you see a future like that? Even if it's tagging everything with the Armageddon, the coming of the Antichrist, where Israel's are, they are trying to hasten the coming of the Christian's Messiah, so that they'll be able to achieve that level. You understand? Because they are also sinning. So when God sees that the world is suffering, he will be forced to intervene. That was the theory. That was his theory. That Israel would do all those things just to force the second coming of the Christ. And because them, they will be the Armageddon, the Gog and Magog. So that's the whole conspiracy theory to me. I think it's a conspiracy theory. I think it's totally um, there are some things there that are actually, there are some knowledge that are not a waste, but most things are fallacies, lies, and events, things that probably won't happen or would happen, but would happen the way he said it. The Bible has already said something like that. We have stuff like that, but there have been books written like that. There have been several discussions like that, but I don't see a future where the world will end. Nah, the world, we have been through so many stuff. We've been through the First World War, the Second World War. We've been through the Great Depression. We've been through diseases, outbreaks. Many things, threatened genocide. When Hitler was threatening to kill Jewish people, I mean, lots of stuff. But at least we found a way to move on, to go ahead. So, past Judaica to me is an unrealistic future. In other words, it is a complete, lie. I don't think there will be a world order called Pax Judaica. That's it. Subscribe.